everyone, welcome back to Horilla. Today, let's discuss about the performance module in Horilla. Like in every other companies or firms, performance of the employee is very important. The firms will be keenly observing the performance of each and every employee. So to manage this, we need a module. So Horilla has made it easier for you guys, providing a module called the performance module. So let's move on to the module and see what are the key features provided by the performance module of Horilla. So this is actually the PMS or the performance module of Horilla. So once you open the performance module, you can see such a view, which is the dashboard. So here inside the dashboard, you have the total OKR, total key results, total feedback, objective status, key result status, and so on. Okay. So here are the things. Now, before talking about anything in detail, let me tell you what this OKR stands for. So OKR is simply objectives and key results. So what is this OKR and why is it used? It's basically used to set specific measurable goals for employees that align with organization's overall objectives. Okay, so that's the OKR. Now it can be split into two as the objective status and key result status. So both of them together is known as OKR. Okay, so here you have the total OKRs. So you will get the count of the total OKRs which are there in your system. So click on that. And then you have the self-objectives as well as all objectives. Okay. So the count of self-objectives is currently 0. Okay. And then you have the all objectives. So the count is 6. So self-objective is nothing but the individual tracking and measuring of their own objective and goal. Okay. So if I am logged in, as you can see, it's Adam logged in. So currently there are no objectives or no self-objectives regarding Adam. So here if Adam is logged in, and if he check the self-objective, he can actually track and measure his own objectives and goal. So here you have all objectives where you can track and measure and also assess the performance of employees in the organization. So like performance of all the employees can be seen here. Okay. So you will get the owner, the objective, due in and status. Okay. And then you have the option to archive this objective as well as delete this objective. Okay, so that's the two options over here. So that's what you see once you open the, objective count from the dashboard. That is the total OKR. Then you have the total key results. If you click on that, you can see the total key results over here. Okay, and then similarly, we have, let's go back to dashboard. We have the total feedbacks. Okay, the feedbacks which we take from the, from other employees and all. Okay, we'll be going through this feedback and all. And then you have the objective status as well as the key status. The key result status. So the objective status is actually shown here as a graph, right? So here you can see different colors and you also can see what the different colors refers to. Okay, so the green color actually indicates on track. That is the status. Okay, and the other one behind, closed, at risk, and not started. So these colors refers to different statuses, okay, and that can be viewed over here. Similarly, you have the a graphical analysis of the key result status where you have not started, on track, and also the behind ones. Okay, and then you have OKR which is at risk. So this person, that is Mark Wilson's OKR, is at risk. So that can also be viewed over here. Then you have the feedback status also. Okay. The feedback status can be taken from here. Okay, so that's the dashboard. Next, we have the OKR section. Okay, so OKR section, as I said before, OKR is actually to set specific measurable goals for the employees. Okay, so once you open this OKR or the objectives, you can see two things which is called as self-objective and all objective. So I've already explained what both of them refers to and what is the difference between them and all. Okay, so let's see how to create an OKR. Okay, so for that, here you have the create button. Click on the create button over here and such a window appears. Okay, so here you have to mention. So first thing which you are going to create is an objective, and here you have to mention the title of the objective. So once you do that, then you have the objective description, and then you have to specify the period, start date, end date. And you have one more thing, which is the objective type. So there are basically 3 types in which you can create an objective. So which is individual, job position, and department. So based on an individual, based on a job position, or based on a department, you can actually create an objective. Once you're done, you can save it. So let me create one. So as you can see, I have provided the title and objective description. Okay, that is, I've mentioned the description and also the objective. Okay, now we have the option to set the period as well as the objective type. So here under period, we have the option to choose second half year. So if you're choosing second half year, means from the 6th month to the 12th month, that date will be adjusted here in the start date and end date. So I'm changing it, and from here I'm choosing a date. So I'll choose 4th of August till the end date I'm choosing as December 31st. So the start and end date is set. Now you have to provide an objective type. So basically you can create it in 3 types, which is individual, job position, and department. So if you're choosing individual, you have to specify the employee name over here. If you are providing it based on department, you have to mention the department over here. And if it's based on job position, you have to specify the job position. So I'm choosing job position and I've given Django developer. So once you're done, you have to save it. So as you can see, the objective is created. Now you have a window where you have to create the key result. So once the objective is saved, the key result window will come where you have to, create the key result. Okay. So let's create a key result. As you guys can see, I have created the key result. Okay. So I have mentioned the title as well as the description. And then you have 3 things, which is key results type, current value, and the target value. So the key result type is actually the measuring unit of key result. So I have mentioned it as percentage. If you just click here, you can see you have different units like currency, US dollars, Indian rupees, then you have euros, the number, and so on. And the current value can be given here, and the target value. So current value, I've given it as 0, and the target value is 100. Then you have the period. So where you can choose second half year or quarterly or whatever it is. Rather than choosing that, I have given the start date and the end date. So it's done. Let's save it. Okay, so start date should be after. So I've given a different date and objective type, right? So I'm saving it. That's save. Okay, as you can see, key result created. Now here you can see the objectives has come. So these people might be the Django developers, and the objectives are created for all these people with the job position. So that's created. And once it's done, you can see that in all objectives. Okay. Under all objectives, you can see all those objectives and key results which you have created. Okay. So that's the OKR section. Okay. So under OKR section, you can see the owner, the objectives, the due in status, and also you have the option to archive it as well as delete it. Now you have the 360 feedback. So under the 360 feedback, it's actually an option where you can take feedback from a variety of sources, including managers, peers, and direct report to get a more complete picture of employees' performance and also their strengths and areas of improvement. So here you have the self-feedback, then you have the request feedback and all feedback. So currently we don't have any data over here. So if you want to create a feedback, you can simply click on create option over there. And then you have to set the review cycle. So you have to enter a title for the feedback. And then you have to choose the employee and the manager. So after you choose that, you have the subordinates and the colleagues that can be added over here. And then you have the period, the start date, the end date, and also you can add a question template and key result. Okay. So I'll show you how to create a feedback. Okay. So this is where you create your feedback. So before going to the feedback section, that is before creating a feedback, we have 2 more things to do. Okay. So here you can see period as well as question template. Okay. So inside the performance, we have separate section for period as well as question template. So first let's go to period. Here is the period. Once you open it, you can see the period which is created. So currently in our system, we only have the second half year section. So you can simply create a period from here. So you have to specify the title over here. So I'm putting the title as quarter or quarterly or something like that. And then you have the start date. Okay, so here's the start date. You have to choose the start date. So I'm choosing the start date as from 1st January. Sorry. So from 1st January to, so let's go to April. So I'm putting April 30th. So this is the, span of time which I call as quarterly. Okay. And I'm saving it. So if you use this period anywhere else, then you will get this date by default. Okay. This date will come by default. Similarly, you can add periods. However you want, you can add. That is, you have to mention a start date and end date, and you will give a title for that particular period. Okay. You can either update it or you can also remove it from the period section. So that's how you create a period. And then here you have a question template. So I'm going to create a question template, and you can give the title as for developer or whatever it is, and save it. So this is the, question template. And the first question, you can, actually choose the question type. Okay. So you have text, rating, Boolean, multi-choice, and Likert. So here you have the question. You have to specify the question type, the question. So I'll just ask some questions. So I'll ask, just for an example, I'll write, what is your designation? Okay. And I'm going to add the question over here. So the question is added successfully. Now let's add another question. So let it be in rating. So I'll put as rate your work, and I'm going to add the question. So we have other types like Boolean, text, and all. So I'm putting as write your feedback. Okay. And add the question over here. So this is how you add questions. You have these much types of questions. Okay. So you can choose what type of a question it should be, either rating, a Boolean, a text, or whatever it is. Okay. And once your question is added, this is the question template. Now you can use this template and, your feedback and all. So let's go to feedback now, and I'm going to create a new one. So here I'm going to enter a title. So I'm like putting as new feedback. So I'm choosing the employee. Let's choose Abigail Lee. So you have the option to add the subordinates over here. I'm adding 2 people, and also let's add some colleagues. Okay. Now here you have the period. So I'm choosing the period as quarterly. So as you can see, that start date and end date which I have chosen has come automatically. And then the question template, which is for developer, has come. Okay. Now if there is any key result regarding this person, that will also come. And once you're done, you can simply save it. And as you can see, feedback created successfully. Okay. So here you can see under all feedbacks, you have this feedback which we have created. Now you can see the status of the feedback is currently not started. Okay. So if you want to answer it, simply click on the answer button over here. And if you want to view the answer, you can click on this icon over here. And this is to archive and delete. So for answering, just click on that. You can see the questions. So these are the things which we actually created inside the question template. So here you can see what is your designation. So I'm putting the, I've given it as such a question type. That's the reason why such answer came. And if you have a rating, that is, I've given the question type as rating, where you can rate your work. I'm rating it. And then here you can write your feedback. Okay. So I'm putting the feedback as good and save it. So as you can see, new feedback has been answered successfully. And if you want to view the answer, you can view the answer over here. So that's the, feedback, the PDF, the question template, and everything. So now you can see the total OKR count has changed, right? Previously, when we started, this was not the count. And then you have the total key results, the total feedbacks, and so on. Okay. So if you open this, you can see all objectives. Okay. So once you open any one of the OKRs or the objectives, you can see the objective as well as the key result regarding that particular person. So you can see it here. If you want to edit this, you can simply click on edit, and the status also can be changed from here. If it has started, it can be put in started state. And then if it's on track or behind or closed, whatever status it is, you can, change it from here. So I'm putting it as on track. And the key result also, I'm changing it to on track. Okay. So as you can see, the thing has come which says status has been updated. Okay. So you have the option to edit it. And if you want to add any new key result, you can simply click on add new over here. And then a key result can be added here. Okay. So the activities will be recorded here. Okay. If you want to add any comment to this log, you can add a comment and simply click on comment over there. So that was all about the performance module. I hope it's clear. Thank you so much for watching.